Hey guys, welcome back. Drip and Farm for Pop. I'm your host, Drip Coach, and let's jump right into it. So I've been getting a lot of questions in my Telegram, even private messages, and in the comments in these videos. People basically asking like what my thoughts are, and in short, they're like, "What the hell is going on?" So I have taken those questions and kind of consolidated them into these top four questions that I'll try to break down for you guys in this video. Now, granted, take this with a grain of salt. It's only 4 days into Triple D, and there's still some more data you need to collect before you can actually say what's going on. But we can at least kind of hypothesize with the current information that we have. So the main question that I got a lot was, how does Triple D help Drip? Well, the main way that it helps Drip is by incentivizing the locking up of your drip back into the fountain. The whole reason in the faucet, the faucet and the vault. The whole reason that we've had these issues over the last couple years, or I'm sorry, last 18 months, is that we have had a serious inflation problem with drip. That's why we have the supply at 30 million. You have people keeping liquid drip in their wallet. That's what you see in here. And then you have people that have just a ton of drip that they can accumulate, and that's sitting in the available to claim, and they weren't doing anything with it, or afraid they were going to dump it on the market. So what Triple D allows is for this incentive to get that drip back locked into circulation. And that's why we see this here. So as I mentioned multiple times, and I got in trouble because this is, FUD, I said that this isn't a one and done, and this is more of a band-aid over a bullet wound. So I think it can be more of a, tourniquet in a sense, but it's not the end all be all solution. And you guys are seeing that now. That's what I've been trying to tell you for a long time. The main hopium that we had was that finally, once this got out, it showed that the team was still developing for drip, and we were hoping that sentiment would reverse within the ecosystem. But as I mentioned multiple times, you had 18 months of delays and no development. So a lot of people just got burnt out, and you see that happening with the price action. And some of that could have been, yes, malicious, but also it's just people that are burnt out, and they thought that with Triple D, they would be able to finally start taking profits. And then when they saw this reverse happen, it didn't work in their favor. So they just started claiming out, and we're going to take a look at that. So it helps by locking up the supply and adding it back to the tax vault so that we can stop minting. So the whole purpose of it, in my opinion, is to stop the minting and inflation, and offer an incentive once we have green candles for people to kind of have a degen play with drip. So when things reverse, this will be a very, very cool game theory mechanic. It just doesn't seem like it's doing that as of right now. And the other question, total supply versus circulating supply. So I broke this down before, so I'm not gonna go into much detail here. And I think he was referencing all these stats. So you come out here to this, let's try to break this down. This is the total amount of drip that has been won since inception. This is the amount of tickets that have been bought to pay out this amount of drip. This is the amount of drip that has gone back into the faucet. So remember, when you sacrifice drip or when you buy drip tickets, there is, depending on how you do it, let me bring this back up real quick. A portion of that capital is either going into the fountain, so back into your fountain. I'm sorry, I keep calling it fountain. Back into the faucet or the tax vault. So when you sacrifice, 75% is going directly into the tax vault. When you deposit, 75% is going into your faucet. So that is that number that you're seeing indicated here is a portion of that going into the player's faucet. And of course, if you win, all of that's going into your faucet. So that's why you see that there. And then this number, I'm not exactly sure how they're calculating that, because the vault here at 408,000. Then when you scroll down, you also see vault burned. And then this is the actual tax vault here. So I'm not sure what that is representing, but these two numbers are the same. So drip sent to faucet since inception. I'm guessing this is the direct drip sent to the faucet, meaning if you did this 75%, I'm hypothesizing here, I don't actually know, it's not annotated, but if you did this This is that direct send to your faucet. So maybe that's what that number is referring to down there. And then this is the total amount that has been sacrificed, basically. So, and then of course, once you have all of this together, you end up with your tax vault, you know, based on buy and sells and claims. And remember, this number is your total circulating supply against both contracts. When you add up the pancake swap circulating supply and the fountain circulating supply, you get apparently a different number. This is like 7.8 million, and this is showing 8 million. So I don't know which one. I'm guessing this one would be more incorrect. I don't know where they're getting that. Oh, I think it's actually adding this as well. Okay, so that makes sense. I think that number there is adding up all three of those contracts. I haven't run this myself, but seeing at it 8,068,000, that could, I'm doing this in real time, I do not know, but that could be a reflection of the 7.8 here plus that. Nope, that's still not right. So I do not know where it's getting that from. It might be adding circulating supply from some other contracts that aren't showing up here, but either way, it's the bulk of these two contracts. That's the point to get it on that one. Let's go to the next question. So why is the circulating supply going up? So this is something I've explained multiple times in messages, so it's high time I do it here on the video. So everybody assumed that when Triple D came out that the price would pump, but we're seeing the circulating supply go up. And the question is, why is that going up and the tax vault is going up at the same time? Well, there is a very, very simple solution, and the data shows exactly what happened. So let's come over here first, because you can see that on this. When we look at the total drip and minted, let's just go with total drip, 28,900,000 on July 31st. When we come to August 1st, we've already gone up by 1 million, right? So that total drip has gone up. Question is, where did it go? And then when you look at minted in the last 24 hours, when you go on the launch day, 300,000 on August 1st, we go all the way out to August 2nd. And then now we have, where are we at? I didn't realize there's this many per day. August 2nd, you're sitting at 793,000. So why was that minted on launch day? And what happened? Well, dripnetwork.ca showed us exactly what happened. On launch day, 2 million drip was claimed. So what does that mean? Well, that means people were sitting around with drip in their faucet, in their available, that they had not claimed yet. And then everybody went to claim and thought that they were going to probably either A, sell the news of the launch, or B, they were using that to sacrifice and get back into drip. I think a little bit of both happened, hence why we've seen the tax vault fill up. So all they did was take that available drip that was not in circulation, that did not exist, it was just dashboard money. They just took that, claimed it, which caused the contract to mint because we didn't have the necessary available. And then now they have re-injected it back into the drip ecosystem. And that's why the tax vault is filled. So again, 2 million came out. Some of that was sold. Some of that was liquid, all sorts of stuff. Some of that got an airdrop, whatever, right? But the point being that this was the largest spike we had ever seen. And when this also gives you a telltale sign of what's going on, which we'll look at on for the next question. But the deposits have always been super low. There's not enough liquidity coming into drip versus the amount of people that have been sitting on the sidelines waiting for a chance to ROI, waiting to take profits, exhibiting positive drip behavior for 18 months, DCAing, doing all this stuff. And then now you just see this graph creeping up, you know, more hydrates. And then boom, there was just a big claim because people have been sitting around waiting for something to happen on drip. So it was just kind of inevitable. Now the question is, where do we go from here? But we will have to see how that story plays out. And then last question was drip in wallets. So again, we can look back on July 30th. We had 21 million. We go to 31st, drip in wallets. We had still 21.8. Go to the first, ended up with 22. So about 500,000. That's exactly reference what I just mentioned about being claimed. Then you come to 23. So still claims. and then you can see that it went back down. So all of that happened on the buy the rumor, sell the news kind of event. The day Triple D launched, people again were just looking to take profits, looking to do something with drip, looking to play back in with it, test it out, whatever the case may be. And as of now, I think we are down from that 22 million. Yeah, so you can see that it is either being sold off or added back in via drip sacrifice. Now, as I continue to mention every single time, it's just a simple mathematical equation. We do not have enough buy volume coming into drip. This is the volume. And over the last couple of months, we've seen this trend line way down here. It's not really a trend line, but channel, mostly bouncing around in the 20,000 range. Very mostly below. So mostly sells. That's why we have red candles all the way up here. And then the days that we spiked above, we would get about 60K to 100K or whatever, but they're few and far between. So only having, 6 days of positive price action versus however many months this is, 60 days of negative, we just can't outpace it. And if you look over the last 24 hours, we've had $55,000 worth of sell volume. So the simple fact that people are either losing hope or they have just decided to take what they can, I don't know. But it all started with this initial sell here on the launch day at 40K, then this other one at 20K, and then now I've got it filtered by more than 1K. So it's not exactly all the large sellers, because if you look August 5th until now, so we have 55 sell volume, 55K in sell volume. So if we add these numbers up hypothetically real quick, simple math, we got 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll add the remainder. That's 9. That's 11. We'll go round up to 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We'll add another 1,000. That's 21,000. There's another $34,000 that is unaccounted for. That is sales that are less than $1,000 worth of drip. So in order to get $1,000 worth of drip, you're selling about 7,000 drip. So that means people, let's just do that real quick. Let's go 200 to 750 just to see. So we had for the 5th, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll call it like 15. And that didn't work. And for 250 to 750, there's still not that many sells. So clearly the bulk of the sells are coming from the smaller investors. So now you have a laundry list of sells. So it's not exactly it's not the whales, so to speak. So to me, when I see this is deductive reasoning here. Let's change this. Let's go minimum 250 to 10,000. When you see this to me tells you the sentiment of the majority of the smaller investors in drip. So yeah, even at 250, it's not that many to do. So there's, yeah, that's a better, easier number right there. 399 sells. So let's add this up real quick. I'm going to count this. I'll pause. All right, I'm back. I was going to just count these, but I was like, let me just put it in a spreadsheet because it's much, much easier, because I was deducing that it's not just large bag holders. So again, we have 55 sell volume, 55K in sell volume. So what I did here is just copy paste. And what this sheet reflects is anybody with more than 250 drip or $250 that they sold. So there's 26 people that equated to 31,000 in sell volume. So there's still another 24,000 USD sell volume, and that comes out to like 375, so to speak, other sells. So 375 people sold at less than $250 worth of drip. So it's not just the big bag holders. And then of course, if we zoom out or go to a higher cap, basically half. So half are coming from people below $500, and only 20 transactions at $500, and 28K is what that represents. And then we go to 1,000, where, so 1,000 or more, it's only 10 people. 10 people have caused $21,000 worth of sell volume. The other 34,000 have come from 389 transactions. That's crazy. That many transactions. But again, it's not all doom and gloom, because with that many transactions, we're still hitting this sell volume. Like, the only thing that needs to change is just the community to support one another and basically a unified project or something. So like Triple D again is just the temporary solution, but there's so much fragmentation and then a lot of hopium lost. You don't have to believe that if you don't want to, but the chart tells you that's exactly what happened. And all these little bitty transactions tell you that's exactly what's happening. So there is clearly a lack of positive sentiment. People are not putting capital back into drip, because you can see that. You can see that by the price action. And then you can see that reflected by the fact that drip has gone up in the tax vault. Circulating supply has increased. All the stats tell you that the people who are paying attention and came back in with drip, but they did not put any more of their fresh capital in. Why? Because for the last 18 months, they've seen nothing but negative price action. So if we want this to reverse sentiment, there's, to me, is two things that can be done. One, a community rally where the whole community is unified and we're doing something supportive to get the 70% of people that have tapped out that I showed you guys previously. Or people that have ROI'd multiple X's. So this will be your big bag holders, your big whales, all these people that have gotten 20, 30X, 40X on drip when you're supposed to only have 2.3. Some of those people can put the price back to where it belongs. So those are the only two options that I see for the short term. But it's, again, it's not all doom and gloom, because this amount of volume is not that huge to overcome. When you zoom out, you can see that we had a lot higher sell volume, and we're still kind of in the crypto summer, so to speak. So it'll just take community support, community catalyst, engagement, all these different things, a reduction in the fractional viewing of multiple different projects, some kind of collective project that puts everybody back on one focus. Right now, there's so many things going on in the ecosystem, from community projects to what Forex is developing, all this stuff. And if everybody would just stop with the shiny object syndrome and put all their focus on one thing, then I think we would have positive price action. It's much easier to market one thing than it is 30 different things that all help this one thing differently. That's why Chick-fil-A outperforms, I think it's McDonald's, Burger King, and some other one combined when you look at profits on a day-to-day basis. And they literally have like the most simplistic menu. I'll have to put that in another video, but the point is, simplicity can still be a huge game changer. Complexity is the mother of what is that saying? Something like growth is the killer, or complexity is the killer of growth, something like that. I don't really have it. Growth creates complexity, which requires simplicity, something about that. So the long and short meaning that the more complex you make things, the harder it is to scale and to improve upon them and all this other stuff. So anyway, hopefully that answered some questions, gave some clarity on what's going on with the price, what's going on with circulating supply, liquid drip, sales, tax vault, all that stuff. If it didn't, please leave me a comment so that I can go into this in more detail. But again, the TLDR, we just need more buy volume than sell volume, and then we can fix this negative price action. And that's going to be our upward journey going forward. And I have no idea when the bleeding will stop on this. So, you know, hold on to your butts, as they say. If you remember a video I made way back here 8 months ago, dripped 10 cents and people called it FUD. Now we could be heading down that path, and it's just simply math. It's not FUD, it's just facts. And until these things change, which is quite simply buy volume, there is no incentive for people to be putting capital back in. We know that in DeFi, degens buy hype. Forex is trying to educate people and wants them to buy value. Well, that doesn't work because degens do not think as investors. So unfortunately, you have to operate the way the world is, not the way you wish it was. And if you choose to continue to buck the trend, then you will choose to get hit back upside the head by reality. And that's why I made this video 8 months ago. And here we are, way closer to that than anybody would have ever thought was possible. Now, granted, we don't have to go there because people, all it takes is, you know, to inject some capital. but I'm showing you the number of transactions, the sales, the volume, how it's been trending the entire time, what people are doing with their wallets, what they're playing with in regards to drip versus fresh capital. None of these things are quote unquote positive price behavior for right now. All right, that's all I got. Hope that provides some value, some clarity, and some insight. And again, it's not all doom and gloom. You just gotta get a reality check every once in a while. Smash that HBO special, help brother out, like, subscribe, comment down below. And until next time, live daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.
Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? SPRITZ Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real-world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.